What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. While all relationship dynamics are different, chances still are that either you know a people pleaser, love a people pleaser, or are a people pleaser yourself. The reason I know this is because even though all relationship dynamics are different, still one of the most instinctual responses of a human being trying to maintain their own safety and security is either fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. There's an episode on Kevin Miller's podcast with Dr. Ingrid Clayton that talks about fawning being now a well-accepted human response to the already well-recognized polyvagal ladder that includes fight, flight, or freeze. In the face of danger, all animals choose one of these responses. And it's not like they get stuck to them. They gauge based on the predator and the problem in front of them, which response best leads to the highest chance of survival. You're probably not going to try and fight a saber-toothed tiger. It's probably not going to help you to try and run away from a cheetah. But still, over time, based on our experiences and what has led to maintaining survival and safety more times, we do tend to lean towards one response, or we do tend to lean towards responding one way or another. A person who tends to fight through their problems has learned that fighting is the right response because it's worked for them more often, will fight more often. A person who froze or flew away learned to do so from those experiences. And while attachment theory might align and have some parallels here too, with who becomes a dismissing avoidant and who becomes a fearful one, the point is, what also becomes a very common response to threat and then trying to maintain their safety is the fawn response, the people-pleasing response, the willingness to put your needs last, to blame yourself first response. And especially if we had an unstable childhood or an unstable parent who made their love conditional, we're hot and cold, that births within us a deep sense of abandonment, a fear of abandonment, and then coping mechanisms that save us from being abandoned. Usually that shows up as becoming whatever version of acceptability that is likely to keep us around and loved or even just tolerated. Anything but abandonment. Now, while I don't have to continue to describe what a people pleaser is to you, and you might have a good enough understanding of what that looks like, I suggest listening to Kevin Miller's podcast on this topic too. What I wanted to talk about was how to love a people pleaser, how to love them into freedom. If that's your partner, your sibling, or even that scared little child inside of you that needs the love, there's a way to love them that frees them of their people-pleasing. And of course, it will be no surprise to you, what we will hope to provide with our love is a safety and consistency in that love that allows them to know that they will always have our love and support and that they will never be abandoned, so that they can then go out and explore what feels more true and authentic to them without feeling the need to people please for maintaining their safety. Now, I say that's not a surprise because here is the surprise. You are also going to have to love them different. Because chances are, if you have a people pleaser in your life who wants to please you, you have already done something to make them feel unsafe, which is reinforcing this people pleasing cycle. And the hardest part of this is going to be for you, the one doing the loving. Because you will have to learn what love really is, how selfless it really is, that you may need to forego all the ways that their people-pleasing benefits you today. You will have to mourn all the ways you lose this person and your idea of them as they morph into the butterfly they were born for. Because their caterpillar version might benefit you the most. All they can do is crawl around and be dependent on you and never go too far from your cradle. If you let them transform, though, that means they will fly away. And if you really love, you will have to learn how close of a relationship loving and letting go have with each other. There's a beautiful meme on IG from Oxford Boy, where a boy is on a tree branch sitting with a sparrow in a cage or a bird feeder, and he says to the sparrow, "I'll take care of you until you can fly again. But then I may leave you," said the sparrow. "Yes," replied the boy, "that's the point." When you really love, and you are really trying to nurse them back to health, you realize how much the nursing of them actually doesn't serve your personal interests. The first thing someone does when they learn to walk again is throw away the very thing that helped them walk the entire time. How as soon as you nurse them back to health, they will fly away, and you will have to live with the loss of who they were to you. This can be taken literally or metaphorically, because a person might physically stay, but be a completely different person than the one that you got comfortable with having around, who constantly tried to please you. As soon as you realize that this is their trauma response, and that they can't really love you freely and truly and deeply from that place anyway, and if what you really want is uncaged, unconditional love, then you must let them transform and transmute into whatever they are meant to be, and let the adventure of what truth that brings about take you where it takes you. The way to love a people pleaser into freedom is to free them from you. It's to free them from their threat response, feeling the need to please you. It's to be willing to give up in every way that benefits you today. You see, somewhere in there, you became a version of their oppressor because you reflected the energy and the yearning of love that they fawned over in their childhood. And somewhere in there, if you're honest, you actually did resemble and trigger what felt unsafe for them. And while they may go their whole life on this roller coaster, bending over backwards to appease you, how can you feel good about that? How can you see this in someone, and because it benefits you, let them continue to do it? I know I do this to someone in my life, and when I see it from the outside, it's even clearer to see when I have friends who fawn in their relationships, and I can't help but feel like their partners are taking advantage of them. But of course, so much of this is subconscious that I know there might not be any malintent there. We magnetize to certain people for certain reasons. Because the problem really in breaking this cycle is that a people pleaser will go out of their way to find someone who they have to work hard to please. Even though it's traumatic for them, they only find activation or energy in such turbulent relationships. You might bore them if you were stable and they no longer got that excitement of perpetuating that same dynamic. They need someone to please, like a puzzle piece. And the person who is avoidant and dismissive will also need someone to please them. It's magnetic chemistry, not necessarily a healthy one, a toxic one, but chemistry nonetheless. So while you can't guarantee that if you love a people pleaser with the intention to free them from this, that they won't just try and recreate it themselves somewhere else, if not with you. But what you can do at the least is free yourself from being guilty of their persecution, to free them, even before they are ready to be free. So they learn what freedom actually feels like. So they experience what having a stable foundation also feels like, what love really feels like. The way to love a people pleaser is to love yourself, to heal yourself, to stop needing the pleasing, to stop making them earn your love then, to work on your own tendency to fight or flight that they feel the need to fawn for and fawn to, and then to love them from that healed place, a place they can always come home to, so that they can fly away, free and fearlessly. I love you, family. Stay true always. I'll see you on the next show.